months to be living here because the weather is still warm and you can still do a lot of the things that you were doing in summertime without sweating your butt off. And there's a lot less crowds, a lot less people around. You're not getting stuck in traffic all the time. The stores aren't completely sold out. We do love fall around here. So fall has the slight edge over spring. I'll take them both. Summer, still my favorite. I don't know. Fall's starting to edge up a little bit, but I do love my summer. It's been getting hot. I think it's an age thing. I think as you get older, you can't take the heat like you used to. Just like you can't take like the cold like you used to when you were young. I think it's the same with the heat. But summer is coming, like it or not. So enjoy spring while you can. Hopefully we'll have a couple of nice days coming up soon. Not this week, but hopefully someday soon. Today's blog post is about going all in. Yeah, that's right. Make a commitment. I posted a picture of my Tucker girl with a quote from my buddy Dave Hollis that says, going from thinking you might to knowing you can will change your life forever. So if you check out the picture, just look at that face. Look at the face of that pretty little girl. It's all up and close, all up in my grill. I know people don't say that anymore, but I love that. Yo, why you all up in my grill? Come on, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. But when it comes to commitment, look to your pet. If they aren't the most consistent creatures on earth, I don't know what is. They are committed to running at you every single time you come home, even if you've only been gone for 10 minutes. They are committed to excitement whenever they hear the word walk. Speaking of which, have you ever had your dog not want to go for a walk? We should take after them in that respect as well. They are committed to the time they are supposed to be fed. Have you ever had them stare you down when you may be late getting their dinner? They are committed to power naps and looking forward to company. They take their commitment seriously, as should we. Yesterday we talked about consistency, and today it's all about commitment. It's our commitment that turns into consistency, that turns into a habit. Why are you making this change? Write it down. Seriously, it's important. Because every time you feel your commitment waning, you have somewhere to go to remind you of why you decided to do this. I've mentioned before that we are often more committed to others than we are to ourselves. Let's see if we can change that. We need to hold ourselves more accountable, whatever that may look like for you. If you can already keep your word to yourself, great. You are way ahead than most of us. But we need to stop letting ourselves down so often, because when we don't believe a word we say to ourselves, our word, our promises, and our guarantees to ourselves, it's all a sham. And our brain knows that because we never keep the promises we make to ourselves. So why would it be any different now? This is where we need to change things up. We need to stop breaking our own promises. We need to know we can count on ourselves and what we say we are going to do. Our mind is a very fickle place, and it believes the words that we use and the actions that we take, or the fact that we don't follow up on ourselves. Excuse me. If you've listened to me for a while, you should know my number one rule. What's my number one rule? That's right. Never call yourself names. I mean, never, ever. When we call ourselves an idiot because we did something not so smart, our brain takes notice. Then it becomes commonplace for you to make a remark about being a bonehead or some such thing. It starts to seep into our subconscious. Then we are operating on the theory that we are a bonehead without even realizing it. So never, ever call yourself names. I mean it. You wouldn't call your kids stupid because they dropped something, would you? Don't do it to yourself either. And while we are on this subject, stop being so darn hard on yourself. Why do we hold ourselves to such impossible standards? We expect so much more from ourselves than we ever would from anyone else. What would you tell, excuse me, what would you tell a friend that told you on Monday morning, I'm going to lose 10 pounds this week? What would you tell them? You'd probably tell them to try to manage their expectations and not set themselves up for failure. But have you ever set an extreme goal for yourself? I know I have. Maybe not to that extreme, but maybe to the level that it would be one that you would warn a friend against making. Self-talk is so important when it comes to commitment. You have to believe you can do it. You have to tell yourself over and over that you can do it. And if you fall off course, it's okay. Just get right back on and keep going. That is another issue we humans seem to have. If it doesn't go perfectly, and honestly, whatever does, we give up altogether. It's such a silly theory. Well, if I can't get what I want when I want it, then I don't want it or I don't want it at all. Come on now. This is why you should really try to keep your expectations reasonable. Don't aim too high, too fast. You will set yourself up for disappointment. But the goals you do set, make sure you achieve them. So be smart when you're setting them up. So an example I was mentioning yesterday. I know if I try to force myself to work out 5 times a week, I won't do it. I'll feel overwhelmed and resentful, making me want to quit altogether. So I do it 3 times a week. And you know what? That's better than no times a week. But on the days I do my workout, I am committed to that day's workout. I've been pretty good with not skipping parts of workouts in the past. I tell myself that I'm only cheating myself when I do that, and it's true. And once you skip a little part here and there, it just becomes too easy, and you end up skipping more and more. For example, I skipped out on 1 round of my full body workout last week. It was the first time I did it. It was pretty rough. But then the very next time I worked out, I used an old workout that I have been using for a while, and I thought toward the end, maybe I'll just skip these last 2 exercises. Because now I'm in this mindset of I can skip stuff. It is a slippery slope. So I didn't skip them, and now I am committed to doing my whole workout whenever I do it. That way there is never a question as to what part I can skip today. The answer is always none of it. When it comes to commitment, think of those that inspire you with their commitment. Your dog, Tom Brady, your kid when they want a new pair of sneakers, and how hard they are suddenly willing to work. What is it you really want? What can you commit to? Start small and work your way up to more. If you start small and feel like you can take on a little bit more on a particular day, have at it. No one's telling you can't do more than you promised. That is way better than taking on too much and falling short. So be kind to yourself, though. Be patient with yourself and commit to yourself. We are already halfway through the week. Are you feeling committed? Are you feeling better? Are you ready to do the work? Let's do this, people! And make today your best day yet.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit Hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.
Day 10 of #Hopefulist Challenge. Are you feeling better yet?